What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today I have Alabama State's round number 2. And on the left, we have Brandon Salazar playing his Night March deck. I know at the end of the last video I said I tried not to get a lot of Night March, but I guess a lot of Night March. But I guess in round number 2 we did have a Night March player. Very consistent Night March. No Melodic, no Gallade. Played a catcher, which is fairly interesting. Flip a Queen of Heads and bring a Pokemon off the bench. One AZ, but pretty much another standard Night March deck. But if you give me a second, we'll see the player on the right and see what they're playing. Alright, on the right we have Rahul playing his Vespiquen Raichu deck. Now, if you remember in round number 1, Connor had a playmat of a person. That's actually this guy. The guy playing Vespiquen Raichu was the one on Connor's playmat. But if you don't know, Raichu has Circle Circuit, 20 times the number of your bench Pokemon. The Vespiquen, which we've seen before, 20 plus 10 in your discard pile, and 2 Gallade with the Sensitive Blade and the Premonition, which are pretty strong attack and ability. 4 Puzzle Time, 1 Target Whistle, 1 Enhanced Hammer, 1 Trainer's Mode, which definitely fairly interesting, and 1 Forest of Giant Plants to get your Vespiquen out fairly quickly. AZ, Hexmaniac, Lysander, 2 Maxis to get out your Gallade. 2 Sycamore, 1 Xerosic. It's definitely a very interesting build, but hopefully you enjoy this list. We're going to see Night March versus Vespiquen Raichu deck. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but we'll see what happens here in a second in Alabama State's round number 2. Alright guys, here it is, Alabama State's round number 2. Like I said, on the left, we have Brandon Salazar playing his Night March deck. On the right, we have Rahul playing his Vespiquen Raichu deck. Now, the Vespiquen Raichu deck is something interesting that I really have not seen probably throughout the whole tournament so far, especially on this channel. But both players are setting up who's going to win the coin flip, and it is tails. I'm not sure who's going to win. Neither player pointed at their chest saying, I'm going first. But there's a matchup coming on down, and let's see what happens. It looks like Rahul did mulligan. And that you definitely don't want to do that against Night March. You don't Night March get extra cards in their hand because, the deck is already so consistent, and now you're giving another card to actually draw with, which is pretty crazy. But it looks like Rahul did get a Pikachu and something else. Both players are sitting up, and it looks like Brandon is going to go first. And let's see what's going to happen. Once again, who do you want to see win? Do you want to see Night March, or do you want to see a Vespiquen Raichu deck win? And just wait for both players. Looks like we're waiting for everybody else to set up. They're pretty much ready to go. And let's see, does Brandon have the crazy turn 1 Night March, put everything in the discard pile, take crazy knockouts? And, both players do just play DCs and puzzle times, but Rahul does have to get set up. But at least he does play the 1 Force of Giant Plants. Maybe that could help him get out the turn 1 Vespiquen and maybe take a knockout on a Pokemon. Here we go, both players set up, and we see double Joltik and a Pikachu and Unknown coming down. And on the Brand's turn, we see a Pumpkaboo coming down. We see an Ultra Ball discarding a Pumpkaboo and a Lampent, maybe. It's a little bit hard to see there. Now, both these players are both in Florida, so I imagine they do test with each other quite frequently. It looks like we see an Ultra Ball getting out a Lampent. Maybe he has a Sycamore in his hand. He's going to play to put it in the discard pile. That'd be fairly interesting. DC coming down, and we see Sycamore discard his hand, drawing 7 new cards. And let's see what does Brandon get. Now, I doubt he wants to put down Shamans. That definitely seems like both players probably don't want to put down Shamans regardless, because that does give him a free 2 prize cards for your opponent. But we see an Enhanced Hammer almost automatically comes down. We see an Unknown Pharaoh Letter. We see an Ultra Ball discarding a Shaman and an Ultra Ball. This will probably get down another Pikachu, most likely, or a Combi. I'm not sure which one Rahul decides to attack with in this matchup. But let's see what Rahul decides to do. It is pretty crazy. He did have the 1 Enhanced Hammer in his hand, just ready to go. But there we see a Combi. It does come on down onto the field. And can Rahul somehow... I don't think he can attack this turn. We see a DC active. We see a Pikachu come down. We see a Shebe. Alright. We see a Battle Compressor. Go and discard 3 cards out of his deck. Probably just 2 Gallades. And can he get the turn 1 of Maxis? That would be pretty cool to see. And let's see. It looks like he's eyeballing the Maxis. Looks like he discarded a Sycamore, a Gallade, and a Maxis. Okay. We see a double puzzle time. Ultra Ball. Get something out of the deck. Maybe another Pikachu. Okay, another Combi coming down. And Rahul does have the turn 1. The turn 1 Maxis with that double puzzle time does help a lot. So turn 1 Gallade coming on down. We can see Premonition rearrange top 5 cards off his deck. Okay. And he drew 5 cards with the Maxis. Duh. I forgot for a second why he drew 5 cards. But Maxis lets you draw up to 5 cards. Looks like we see a Battle Compressor discarding some more Pokemon. And we see a Premonition rearrange top 5 cards off his deck. Let's see. I really can't tell which order he's putting in. But we're definitely going to see a Nuzzle from Rahul trying to paralyze this Joltik, which is pretty interesting. And let's see, does he flip heads or not? And, oh, it tells. Alright, so on to Brandon's turn. We see a DCT active, a Lysander, bring up that Shaman EX, and we will see a Night March take out a knockout. And like I said earlier, that's pretty much how this game is going to go. Who can take more knockouts on EX Pokemon? We see an Unknown Feral Letter, we see a Vespiquen coming online. And can Rahul find a Raichu to attack with or a DCE? We see another Feral Letter, okay. He does have a Hex Maniac in his hand, DC to the Vespiquen, a Hex Maniac, and we see a Quick Attack to knock it out. Wow. Alright. Oh, did he use... Oh, he probably used Quick Attack last turn as well to try to knock out that Joltik. Oh, man, I forgot Quick Attack could knock out a Joltik. That's fairly interesting. We see a Battle Crest to discard your teammates. And, yeah, I forgot. Wow, that he wasn't going for a Nuzzle. He was going for a knockout with Quick Attack. It does 10 plus 20. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Maybe I'm wrong. But we see a Battle Crest to discarding 2, 3 cards. Looks like a Judge, Hex Maniac, and a Teammates. We're going to see a VS Seeker for teammates. Going to search out a DC for sure. But what else will he get out? I am not sure. We probably can't tell. And let's see what else is going to happen this turn. Alright. So there's 2 cards from the teammates. And let's see what does... Brandon's probably going to take a knockout for sure. There's a Fighting Free Bell DCE. It will force Rahul to attack with Vespiquen or a Raichu. We see a Raichu coming online, Muscle Band, and we see a Sycamore discard his hand, draws 70 cards. A Combi Unknown coming down. We see another Vespiquen coming online as well. We see a Trainer Small. Look at the top 4 cards of his deck. Which one did he decide to get? Looks like a VS Seeker. Alright. And let's see what else is going to happen. Okay. Premonition rewage top 5 cards of his deck. I'm pretty sure that's what we're seeing. He's trying to make sure he has the right card online. Oh, Quick Attack does 20 plus 10. Sorry, I said 10 plus 20. But it does 20 plus 10. So he really could have knocked out that Joltik turn 1. And that's why he knocked it turn 2 without even flip a coin. Because it just automatically knocked it out. I just want to make sure I cleared it up. But we see a Tree and we see a Circle Circuit knocking out. That's the Night Marcher on a Brandon's turn. Let's see. Does he have another VS Seeker to use the teammates? We see a Battle Presser in his hand. And... now, the thing about Rahul is he is keeping his bench full, so that means Brand can't target Whistle Shaman now, which I really do like a lot. We'll see a VS Seeker for our teammates, and let's see, can he find a Night March and a DC, maybe double Puzzle Time, another VS Seeker for the following turn to keep the chain going, and it's going to be weird. I'm not sure how many Puzzle Times Brandon has played, but we know Rahul has played 2 for sure. He might have played more, and I just missed it when he discarded them or something. Obviously, 2 cards coming to Brandon's hand. I'm not sure what they are one more time. But there we see a Battle Quest from Brandon. Going to discard a Zerosig. Something else. I'm not sure what that card is. Maybe another... I don't know what the card is. And a Megaphone. So I see a Megaphone as Zerosig. I don't know what that middle card is. Okay. There we go. And let's see. We're going to see a DC attachment for sure. He does have Puzzle Time. A Joltik comes down. Okay. And there's double Puzzle Time. Maybe get our DC and another DCE. Yep, double DC coming to his hand. We'll see a DC attachment to the active. And we'll see another Night March for the knockouts. Hold on, wait for it. Never mind. I thought he had he's going to attach a Flowstone. Yeah, Flowstone to the Bunkaby, which I do like a lot. And we'll see a Night March knocking it out. On to Rahul's turn, let's see what happens. Looks like he's using a Premonition right now. I'm going to rearrange top 5 cards of his deck. And can Rahul find a... Can he find like a Target Whistle or something to bring out a Shaman? That'd be fairly interesting to take a knockout. We see a Feral Letter going to draw 2 card. Target Whistle, bring out the Shaman EX. And... okay, let's see. What does this Rahul have? We see a Lysander, bring out the Shaman. And we'll see a Beer Ranch for the knockouts. Alright, so 2-2. We see a Target Whistle for the Shaman. VS Seeker for the Lysander. And Brandon will take the game. Now, what Rahul could have done last turn, which it might have been kind of crazy, I think he had 2 Puzzle Times in his hand, and if he did, he could have put 2 Pokemon on the bench to make it where Brandon couldn't take a Target Whistle, but maybe he didn't, and I'm just seeing things. But I think that's what Rahul kind of wants to do. He kind of wants to fill his bench up saying, hey, Brandon, you can't Target Whistle a Shaman out, and kind of win that way while, you know, Rahul can use Target Whistle. He only plays 1 of them, but he does play Puzzle Times to get him back out. But it's still fairly hard. It's going to be hard for Rahul. I mean, that was still a good game. Both players were just changing prices. Neither player missed a beat, and we were good to go. If Brandon missed a beat, I think Rahul would have won that one for sure. He would have had an extra turn, probably would have won the game the following turn. But we see Brandon does take game number one, playing his Night March deck. Now, he doesn't have to evolve, obviously, which is why Rahul is a turn behind. But if he can find a Forest of Giant Plants turn 2 to get the Vespiquen online quicker, that'd be good to go. We see a mulligan, and I imagine Rahul is going to go first. I can't ever see a situation where he would want to go second. But we see Brandon shuffle up one more time. Rahul does get a mulligan draw, which is very nice. I'm going to help him out just a little bit. And can he get the turn 1 maxis into the Glade? That's the big question. That was a pretty cool thing to do. And to be able to use Premonition every turn to help set up is a very, very good thing to do. But let's see what happens. Brandon is shuffling up one more time, and let's see what's going to happen. All right. And we see Brandon does get I saw a Joltik in his hand. He does get 2 Pokemon. Rahul will take a card. And we see an Unknown Start. We see a DC to Combi. We see an Ultra Ball discarding a Shaman and a Gallade. And going to grab a Pikachu. Alright. And can he get the turn 1 Gallade or not? That's the big question. We see a Pikachu coming down. We see a Puzzle Time, rearrange top 3 cards of his deck. We see a Sycamore. Oh, so no turn 1 Gallade, which is not good. Alright, we see Combi coming down. See a Trader's Mail, look at the top 4 cards of his deck. And they're all 4 Pokemon. Like how Rahul kind of showed us there. Like, hey, there's 4 Pokemon in my hand. Alright. So, let's see what happens. And we might just see a pass. And yeah, I like how Rahul did put the Unknown in the active spot, saying, hey, you can take a knockout, but it's not going to be one of my attackers. So that's good. We see a Battle Crest discarding 3 Lampets. So 20, 40, 60. He can knock out an Unknown, which is great. I mean, yeah, you're going to get that first turn 1 knockout, which is great in this kind of non-EX prize war. We see an Acrobike. Let's see what he decides to discard. I probably won't be able to tell what he keeps, but it looks like he discarded, not sure. But a Dimension Valley and a Sycamore, going to discard his hand, drawing 7 new cards. Alrighty, and let's see what else does he have. He does have a DCE, so he can use Night March's turn to take a knockout. Alright, looks like we see 4 Lampets in his discard pile so far. Looks like he's going to get nothing off the Trader's Mail. I'm not sure if that was correct or not, but maybe it was nothing. Ooh, if Brandon could find his catcher and bring up that Combi, that would be fairly interesting. We see a Fighting Free Belt to the active saying, hey, you're not going to quick attack me this turn. You're going to have to commit an attacker to actually knock me out. We see a Ultra Ball discarding something and something. Going to get a Vespiquen. So we'll see a Be Revenge maybe? Oh, maybe 20, 30, 40. I don't think it's a knockout yet. We see a Puzzle Time, rearrange top 3 cards of his deck. VS Seeker for a Gallade. All right, so there we go. Going to use Maxi. He's going to draw up to 5 cards. We see a Battle Compressor and an Unknown, so he'll probably most likely get it. We see a Premonition. It looks like. I think that's what we're seeing right now. Premonition, rearrange top 5 cards of his deck. Unknown, Feral Letter to draw to the card he wants, and now he can use double Battle Compressor. So we'll see him discard on all the cards he wants. A Xerosic, a AZ, some Unknowns, looks like a Gallade are being discarded, and a Vespiquen as well. Alright, so Rahul will get a knockout this turn with the Be Revenge. He'll be down to 5 prize cards. And once again, it's going to be see who misses a beat and who doesn't. We'll see retreat into the Vespiquen. We'll see a knockout. And on the Brandon's turn, he does have a DCE. He has a Megaphone, which is pretty much useless. We'll see a VS Seeker discard his hand, drawing 7 new cards. And now DC a Puzzle Time being discarded. We see a Town Map coming on down. Alright, and you see Brandon can maybe get a Joltik out of the discard pile. I think that's the better thing to do. We see a Battle Compressor discarding his Xerosic and 2 other supporter cards. Maybe a Hex Maniac and then something else. I was too quick. I couldn't see what it is. But I imagine it's 3 supporter cards. And we'll see a Night March most likely take a knockout on the Vespiquen. And he does get the Joltik like I thought. And on the Rahul's turn, we see a Forest of Giant Plants coming down. Sycamore, go discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. And can he find the DC or not? We see a Pikachu coming down. We see a Raichu coming down. We see a Battle Compressor. Going to discard 3 cards out of his deck that he doesn't need. We see it looks like he discarded a Pikachu. And if you don't know, Rahul just ripped a Dragon Shield sleeve, which is pretty crazy. But he's going to put a Pikachu back into the sleeve. And let's see, what does he discard out of his deck? There's a Lysander Maxis and a Battle Compressor. Just going to thin out a little bit more. And let's see what else can he get. He does have a DC, so that's great. We see a Premonition and rearrange top 5 cards of his deck. And that's why I do like Premonition a lot, because you can make sure you're trying to draw into the right cards you need during your next turn. Alright, and let's see. I can't tell what cards are what, though. Okay, so he's going to leave like that. DCT active. We'll see a Circle Circuit for the knockout. On to Brandon's turn, let's see what happens. He does have a DC, Dimension Valley, Trader's Mail. Look at the top 4 cards of his deck. And let's see what he decides to get. Maybe a Puzzle Time. If he has another Puzzle Time in his hand, that could be cool. Looks like he's eyeballing a Fighting Fury belt. Looks like, yep, going to get the Fighting Fury belt. I'm not sure how much it's going to help, but maybe the other 3 cards were just pretty much useless, and so he opts just to grab the 1, so it's not in his deck anymore. Fighting Fury belt in the active, and does he have a supporter card or not? I don't think he hasn't played one yet. So let's see what happens. If he has a Shaman, he definitely doesn't need to put that down. That's definitely a liability, putting down the Shaman. And Sycamore, okay, that's Sycamore, not a Shaman, sorry. But Sycamore going to discard his hand, drawing 7 new cards. A Pumpkaboo does come down, and we will see a Night March for the knockout. Yep, Night March for the knockout. Going to get the Pumpkaboo. I don't think it really matters at this point. I don't think you grab it. I don't think you grab the Shaman at all. But there we see a Target Whistle. Going to bring out the Shaman. Okay. We'll see a Vespiquen for the Lysander. Bring up that Shaman. And we'll see a Shaman come down for Rahul. We'll see a Vespiquen on Lion. Can he find a DC or not? He does have 2 already discarded, if I remember correctly. Maybe it's not so much. We see a DC to the active, and we'll see a Circle for the knockout. He will go down 2 prize cards on Salazar's turn. We see a Joltik being promoted. And what can happen next turn is Rahul could have double puzzle time. Put out a Shaman, maybe Lysander up, and use the other puzzle time for a DCE. Oh man, let's see what happens. We'll see a Joltik come down with the Ultra Ball. We see a Trainer Smell. Now, if Brandon can fill his bench up, that'd be great. It'd actually put him in a very great position. Can he do it or not is the big question. Looks like we see a Trainer Smell or a Catcher. Let's see, we see a Catcher and heads. Gonna bring up that Shaman EX and a Vespiquen for a Judge. Gonna put both players at 4 cards. But what Brandon needs to do, if he could do it, is put a 5th Pokemon on his bench, making Rahul cannot Target Whistle a Shaman back out. And we see 4 cards going to each player's hand. And we see Vespiquen, double puzzle time, and does Salazar. Oh, Salazar just scoops the game. But like I said, I think if Brandon had the Pokemon, he could have put it down and won the game most likely. So he did miss a Pokemon, and if he would have had one, he could have put it down, fill his bench up, and make it where Rahul cannot Target Whistle somebody else and Lysander. So there we go. On to game number 3. I like how Rahul just showed him a Vespiquen double puzzle time, saying, "Hey, I got this. I got you. I got the game." And we see the game. And we see game number 3 happening right now. Once again, Brandon will be able to go first, and then Rahul cannot attack on the first turn unless he gets the Force of Giant Plants or he gets lucky with this quick attack with the Pikachu. If Brandon starts with a Joltik. So let's see what happens in this game number 3. Who do you want to see, Night March or this Raichu Vespiquen deck? And we see both players do get a Pokemon. Not sure where that Shaman just popped out of from. I think it accidentally fell out of the deck, and yep, that's what happened. All right, so we see a Joltik and a Combi. All right, and here we see Brandon get the Trainer's Ball. Look at the top 4 cards of his deck. He does have an Ultra Ball, Sycamore. It's something else. Looks like we're seeing Ultra Ball coming down. And Ultra Ball discarding, I'm not sure what 2 cards those were. It definitely happened too fast. Looks like we'll see another Joltik coming down. We'll see a DC and Judge. Put both players at 4 cards. Alright. Maybe Brandon can make where, Rahul doesn't have everything off these 4 and pretty much lose the game, maybe? But we'll see. Both players are shuffling up. And let's see, what do they get off these 4 cards? It could be bad, it could be good for either player. Like, Brandon could have, maybe he draws into 4 bad cards and he just loses by him, because he judged himself to 4 bad cards. But we see a Trainer's Mail. Let's see what he decides to grab. A Puzzle Time, okay. And I think we see a pass, maybe? Maybe, let's see what happens. Hold on. Oh, not yet. Oh, okay, so a pass on a Rahul's turn. We see a Puzzle Time, rearrange top 3 cards of his deck. Okay, we see a Shaman setting up for 6. And what else does he have? Does he have a supporter card or not? There's a Muscle Band to the active. AZ pick up the Shaman coming down. We see a Vespiquen, Ultra Ball discarding Gallade and something else. So if Rahul can't find a DC and take this turn 1 knockout, that'd be fairly good for him. But Rahul does have 2 Shamans down on the field, which is not good at all. That is 2 extra prize cards. It looks like he's actually going to go for a Sky Return, which I do like that play a lot. Going to Sky Return, knock out that Joltik, which is fairly cool. We've seen Ultra Ball discarding a Maxis and a Muscle Band. Going to grab the Pikachu. And I imagine what he's going to do is Sky Return to the Pikachu, take a knockout, going down to 5 prize cards. I'm going to Brandon's turn. Let's see what happens. There's a Battle Compressor discarding a Lampets, a Hex, a Lysander, and then maybe, I don't know, a Teammates maybe? But nope, another Lampets. 20, 40, 60. So if he has a Lysander DCE, he can take a knockout on the Shaman, which would be pretty cool. Let's see, does he have that combo or not? Double puzzle time for the DCE. And, what's the other card going to be? Can he get I mean, his discard pile is not the greatest. Fighting Fear Belts, maybe? Maybe he should have discarded the Shaman, then he could have, I don't know, used it, but then, I don't know. But we see a DCE, Fighting Fear Belt, Lysander, Shaman drawn up to 6. So he had the Shaman already in his hand, so that's great. So he will see a Night March for the knockout, but he needs to get another Pokemon down on the field. Looks like you'll see a Vespiquen discarding a Teammates, Hex Maniac, and a Lampent. Yep, that's what it's being discarded, okay. But can he find another Pokemon or not? But nope, we'll see a Night March going out of 4 prize cards on a Rahul's turn. We'll see a DCE, Pikachu, Raichu, maybe a Sycamore? Yep, Sycamore, go discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. But he does throw another Shaman in the discard pile. And once again, Brandon can target whistle that out. We see an Unknown Combi. And can Rahul get another Pokemon down or not? But does not look like it. We'll see a Bee Revenge, a Joltik comes down. He does have a Fighting Fury Belt. We can put that on the Joltik, making aware Rahul cannot Sky Return for a knockout. We'll see a Vespiquen. We're going to grab a Teammates. This is most likely going to grab a Floatstone and a DCE to take a knockout this turn and be good to go. The question is, can he keep streamlining it or not? We see a Floatstone, Fighting Fear Belt, Retreat, and we'll see a Night March for the knockouts. And yep, going to go to 3 prize cards on the Rahul's turn. Let's see what happens. Alright, does he have another DCE? Battle Compressor, go and discard 3 cards out of his deck. And let's see what he decides to discard. So both players are doing fairly well right now. They're taking back-to-back knockouts. Let's see, can Rahul not miss a beat either? We see a Unknown, a Maxis, and a Lysander being discarded. I think that's what 3 cards were discarded. We see a DCE. Okay, we see double puzzle time. We're going to grab a Lysander and a... Okay, just Lysander something else. But they see a Circle Circuit for the knockout. We see a Joltik, and we see a Pumpkaboo. Alright, and let's see what happens. See a puzzle time, rearrange top 3 cards of his deck. And there's a Sycamore going to discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. Now, if Rahul can't find a Target Whistle Lysander, he could win the game. Next turn, we see a Pumpkaboo coming down. That is 4 Pumpkaboos on the bench. Wow. We see an Ultra Ball, and if he can find another Joltik, he can fill his bench up, making where Rahul cannot use the Target Whistle to win the game next turn, which would be very cool. Unless does he have another Pokemon to get on the bench or not? That's the big question. Maybe he has already discarded them all. Oh, man, I think that's what already happened. Looks like, oh, does he find a Joltik or not? Oh, there's a Shaman, but he does not need to put the Shaman down. Can he find a Joltik or not? That's what he really needs. Looks like he is going to grab the Shaman. I doubt he'll put that down. If he had a Joltik, he'd put that on the bench, make him a roll. Cannot target whistle on Lysander. But there we see a knockout on a Rahul's turn. Let's see what happens. A Pikachu comes down. Farewell Letter. Farewell Letter. Farewell Letter. Pikachu. A target whistle. Going to bring out the Shaman. And let's see, does Rahul have it or not? Oh man, this is crazy. Does he have a DC Raichu? Lysander. There's a DC to the active. He could Lysander up, but nope, we see Sycamore, so it looks like Brandon is going to be okay this turn. Looks like he's not going to, Rahul's not going to win this turn. We see a Raichu, Vespiquen, Shaman setting up for 6. We see a Combi coming down. And we'll see a Circle Circuit for the knockouts. I am like 100% sure. Ultra Ball discarding 2 cards, getting out a Raichu. Oh man, and it's going to come down to, does Brandon have a DC Lysander in his hand or not? Let's see, oh baby, let's see what's going to happen. Does Night March win this turn or not? Or, oh man, okay. So we're going to see a Pumpkaboo being promoted. Pumpkaboo has to find a Dimension Valley as well. He needs a DCE Dimension Valley Lysander. That is a lot of cards to get. But let's see, on the Brandon's turn, looks like he's going to discard a Battle Compressor, or play a Battle Compressor, discarding a Battle Compressor. Let's see what else. He does have a Shaman in his hand as well, so he can at least Shaman draw some more cards. It looks like a Megaphone, Town Map, and a Sycamore being discarded. He needs to try to discard, like I said, draw into a Lysander DC and a Dimension Valley this turn. He does have a DC in his hand. See a Shaman drawn up to 6. Can he find a Dimension Valley and a Lysander? He does have an Escape Rope, but that is not going to help him. We see an Ultra Ball discarding an Escape Rope and a Sycamore. Going to grab a Shaman, but I don't think Salazar can take a knockout this turn. Oh man, his bench is full. There's a Train as well. Look at the top 4 cards of his deck. There's the Dimension Valley, Vespiquen, and there's the Lysander. Bring out that Shaman, and Night March will take the game. Oh my goodness, that was such a close game. So he's going to bring up that Shaman EX, take a knockout, and Brandon will win this game, going to 2-0 with his Night March deck. That was a pretty exciting game. Brandon won game 1 and 3. Rahul won game number 2. Man, Rahul just barely missed it to win the game. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this Raichu, Vespiquen, Gallade deck. Rahul didn't get a Gallade down game number 3 as well. That might have made a difference. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. Alrighty.